Hello everybody, Lucas here, and welcome to week 3 of IHops. We're going up against Joed slash Paxi Agent slash Pentamelon and the Ann Arbour Ampharos for this week 3 matchup. I haven't deselected his thing. Let's do that real quick. There we go, that looks a bit better now. So I believe both of us are 2-0. So this is because I think he's second, I'm third currently. Although I think we're actually tied on differential properly, but my week 1 game hasn't quite gone into the dock properly because of the recoil kills. Like the floor just dying to Sandstorm and then Drill dying to Life Orb recoil. Those haven't recorded properly, so my differential is currently too low than it actually is. I'm coming off of a very, very close game against Shiro last week where I won on damage rolls in the end. I also got crit earlier on and had a bad damage roll earlier in the game. So Hacks decided a lot in that one. It was a very close game. Hopefully I can put in a more convincing victory here. I wouldn't say better performance because I feel like I played pretty well in that game. I've played pretty well so far this season overall. Nothing spectacular, but I've been solid and I've done enough to get the wins, which is all that matters at the end of the day. I think it's going to take a little bit more to do this one though. From what I've seen, Joed is a very good player. So let's get into his team, what I think he's going to bring. Mega Scizor, as I said in my draft analysis video a couple of weeks ago, I think is the best Mon in this league because there's no Urshifu, and then with Pursuit being allowed and stuff, it gives Mega Scizor so many options, with Hidden Power being banned as well. It becomes this incredible, like, immovable defensive piece because of Roost and Defog and stuff. It can U-turn, it can Swords Dance, it has great priority in Bullet Punch, although obviously I have a Tapu Lele, so how much priority he brings is kind of subjective in this one. I wouldn't be surprised to see like an agility set come to try and get around that issue with the psychic terrain. I wouldn't be surprised to see agility, Swords Dance, Iron Head, and then like Bug Buzz or something, because that set could, or maybe like Iron Head, Superpower to then break Aggron, because that set could do a lot of work against the team. More likely though, it comes very bulkily, it kind of U-turns around, it does all that good stuff, gets his other pieces in. Latios is a massive threat. Base 110 speed is really good against my team because it's faster than my 3 main offensive threats. The only thing on my team that is faster is Salazzle or Scarfer, potentially, and it's got great natural bulk, so a lot of stuff just doesn't one-shot it. It's a decent switch into Zapdos. As well, it's a decent switch into Garchomp if he knows I'm not going to click a Dragon move, which obviously that's subjective. I really wouldn't be surprised at all to see him try and bring a Calm Mindset here to try and take advantage of Aggron being the likely switch into Latios. He probably runs Calm Mind, or he probably runs Aura Sphere, so I can kind of somewhat see where his moves are going to be. He does run into a little bit of move slot syndrome with the Latios here, because you obviously want Dragon move to be able to one-shot Garchomp. You obviously want your Psychic move to like one-shot Zapdos and stuff and Salazzle. You obviously want Aura Sphere to try and deal with like Aggron, and you obviously maybe want to try and fit Thunderbolt on there because that's going to deal with Vaporeon quite well. But then you also maybe want Defog. You maybe want Roost, or not Roost. I think it's I guess Roost as well. I think, or Roost or Recover to try and live hits there. And your longevity, and then you may want Calm Mind to try and be a bulky setup set. So there's a number of different ways you could run this Latios, including like Specs and or Scarf maybe as well. He could bring Scarf, but it's a massive threat, and I think he'll definitely bring it. Where was I? Swampert. So Swampert's just a great bulky water, bulky ground. It's got good defenses. Can't actually recover though, which is unfortunate. It's his main rocker. Might be his only rocker. Is it his only rocker? I did check this. Yeah, it's actually his only rocker. So there isn't a massive hazards presence coming with the team. There's a couple of T-Spikers, which I could see him bringing to try and stack me that way. Yeah, Swampert's just a good bulky mon. It can flip, turn, and do great stuff, getting momentum. It hits pretty hard with stuff like Earthquake. It can run Ice Punch for Garchomp in this matchup as well, or Ice Beam, depending on what he wants to run. That wise can do stuff like that. Probably will come. It's his one check to Salazzle, who has a really good matchup here otherwise, so I feel like he will bring it. Moltres is interesting because there are some ways in which Moltres is really good here, and there are other ways in which it really kind of isn't. It loses to stuff like it depending on sets, it's good, right? So like it can do really well against Lele. It can do really well against Garchomp. It can Flame Body Burn Zapdos as well and do stuff like that. It can be okay against Salazzle if it has Scorching Sands. It can do decently against Aggron, for example, as well. It can do a lot of stuff pretty good in this matchup. I'm not sure how likely he is to bring it though, because it isn't going to be it's good against a lot of stuff, but it also isn't amazing against it at the same time. So it's kind of a weird catch-22 for him. I feel like he has slightly better things he can bring to this one, but I'm not too sure. I could definitely see it showing up. I could also see it being left off. Tangrowth is really good against Garchomp here. I'm anticipating kind of an AV set to try and potentially take Fire Blast, because I've shown willingness to bring Special Garchomp. Otherwise, Fire Blast is like a 2-shot, even on physically offensive, which just happens to be checking, like teching a Fire Blast. So I think he'll run AV to kind of check Garchomp overall. Really wouldn't be surprised to see that. Otherwise, Garchomp, if I'm Scarfed or if I get a speed boost up with Scale Shot, is very, very scary against him, because I can run coverage for a lot of his team, including stuff like Moltres and stuff, and Scizor and all of that. So I'm pretty sure Tangrowth's going to come to this one. Drapion could have some interesting uses. Scarfed Pursuit could be kind of good against Lele, for example. Even something like an AV set could also be fairly decent against Lele too. So it depends how he wants to run it. In that sense, I could see him doing either. If he wants to bring it, I could also see him leaving it off and opting to just use Mega Scizor to check Lele, which he does very well. Slurpuff is really good here as a physical wall, because it both checks Garchomp okay, in terms of like it 1v1s Garchomp, and then it can also check Zapdos pretty well if Zapdos isn't banded. It takes like CCs, it obviously takes CCs anyway, but it takes Brave Birds also if Zapdos isn't banded, so would not be surprised at all to see Slurpuff come here, and if it does come, it will probably be physically defensive. Belly Drum could work if he has a way, like a strategy to eliminate Garchomp, not Garchomp, Aggron. If he has a strategy to eliminate Aggron, I could see Belly Drum coming, but if he can't eliminate Aggron, then Slurpuff never beats Aggron. +6, Drain Punch does half. That's how bulky Mega Aggron is, so I think that kind of dissuades him there. Same thing applies. I'll jump down to Mimikyu real quick to talk about here, because Mimikyu is amazing. It is probably the best Z user under these conditions, because it can only be 10 points or below for a Z user. And Mimikyu is really, really strong with it. It gives it a really strong attack. Basically, you can run Fight Z, you can run Ghost Z, you can run Fairy Z, you can do all of that. You can run Z Splash if you really want to, which is +3 attack. And you can also, like, just... Disguise is great in terms of... It's not as good as it once was, but in terms of being able to just set up an SD in front of something for free, pretty much. Or it's not free now, you do take an 8th. Or is it a 6th? I don't even remember. I think it's an 8th. You take damage now in doing that, which makes it not as good, but you can still do Shadow Sneak stuff, and you can still win matchups with it. But Mega Aggron completely dissuades it from doing anything. Like, +2 Drain Punch does 30%, if that. Which is just like, there's no way it ever breaks it. I also have something like a Muck, which does well against it. A load of fast offensive ones that Shadow Sneak isn't going to kill, like Garchomp. Lele is slower, but like Garchomp and Zapdos, like I don't think I would be very, very surprised to see Mimikyu come here. Very, very surprised for similar reasons. I don't really anticipate Belly Drum Slurpuff. Greninja is good. I feel like a Specs Greninja could be a good bring on his end, because I don't have, outside of Vaporeon, great water switch-ins. If he can eliminate Vaporeon, then Greninja can really go in with a Spec set. It is something that although it isn't going to hit Aggron super effectively, it can break Aggron, so that's kind of where we're at with that. It can also do U-turn. It can also run Spikes and T-Spikes, which you could try and utilise here. T-Spikes are pretty good against specific versions of my team, and Spikes are decent as well, because I don't have the greatest hazard removal options. I'd be surprised there. And Slurpuff is a Sticky Web option as well, which could be slightly awkward, but obviously it won't affect Zapdos because of... It's a flying type, so it depends what he wants to try and do. That I could see him trying to use webs though, for sure, because it makes stuff like Moltres really, really good, and Drapion really, really strong as well. And it makes Scizor really strong as well, because I think it would make Scizor faster than Lele, if Lele is on the webs, I believe. That sounds right, so I'll go with that. But Greninja could be really strong as well, just as a special attacker. Combination of just Water plus Dark, and then Ice Beam for Garchomp as well is always strong. And then Priority and Water Shuriken, although obviously Psychic Terrain stops Priority once again, which is nice against this team, because this team has a couple of good priority moves between Bullet Punch and Water Shuriken here, so I can really shut that down effectively just by having Psychic Terrain in prep, even though I haven't brought Lele, as you can see. And then Healerlisk, I wouldn't be surprised to see him bring maybe like a Specs one, because not even Specs, maybe just like Life Orb, and he alternates between Click and Thunderbolt and Hyper Voice and stuff, and that can break my team fairly effectively. Really wouldn't be surprised to see that. People have been bringing their electric types against me despite Garchomp, so And especially in this case where Heliolisk is fast and Garchomp can hit it pretty hard. Wouldn't be surprised to see it here at all. And then Squirtle is a mascot pick for him. It's his like Discord profile picture. So I think that's why that's here. It can do Shell Smash stuff similar to Wartortle. It's just a worse version of Wartortle, which in turn is a worse version of Blastoise. So yeah, especially with Vaporeon on this team, Squirtle's never going to come. It will probably come at some point in the season, though. I wouldn't be surprised, because it can catch you off guard. So in terms of the 6, I think he brings. I think we're definitely going to see the Scizor. I think we're definitely going to see the Latios, and then I'm fairly confident in seeing Heliolisk. And then I'm pretty sure we're going to see Swampert, and then I'm going to say Tangrowth and Slurpuff as the last 2. I could definitely see Greninja. I could definitely see Moltres. I could definitely see Drapion. I'm not really anticipating Mimikyu or Squirtle, though. Anything else I think is definitely fair game, though. So I've had to try and prep for all of that accordingly. And this is a pretty weird matchup in the sense where we can both really get at each other with the right ideas. So it's going to be an interesting one. So getting into the team I've brought, and why I'm bringing it, starting off with this Life Orb Garchomp here, where I really don't like running. I think after using Coco, I really don't like using Life Orb and stuff as much anymore, because it does just wear you down. However, I actually do need the extra damage from Life Orb in this matchup to be able to 2-shot Swampert with Earthquake, to be able to 2-shot Moltres with Rock Slide, and to be able to 2-shot physically defensive Mega Scizor with Fire Fang. So I had to bring Life Orb here, otherwise I'm very ineffective pretty much. Now, if Tangrowth is fully physically defensive, which in my opinion would be a mistake on his behalf, Fire Fang does like no damage. I never do literally any damage to Tangrowth. As I said though, he should be anticipating me bringing Fire Blast and runs an AV set, I'd imagine here. I just want to run Fire Fang because it's going to be better against the Scizor and it has less of a chance to miss, basically. I have other stuff that can deal with Tangrowth pretty well, so it wasn't a massive priority for me. I could also see him leaving off Tangrowth in favour of Moltres or something if he doesn't realise that Garchomp gets Rock Slide for some reason, which Rock Slide is there for Moltres. And then Scale Shot is there because if I can get the Scale Shot off into, say, maybe Scizor is low, and I can do that and I can Scale Shot into Scizor, get the speed boost, that then makes me faster than Latios and Greninja and Heliolisk. And then from there, I literally sweep the team. He doesn't have, with the exception of Tangrowth, stuff that beats Garchomp. I mean, Slurpuff does as well, technically, because I haven't run Poison Jab, but Earthquake still is almost a 2-shot there on fully physically defensive, so I just need to wear down that, basically, and then I can just get a Scale Shot off, and then Garchomp can literally just win the game if it needs to. That's not primarily what it's here for, though. It's here to try and poke a hole. It's here to beat something, basically, whether that's the Scizor, whether it's the Moltres, whether it's even the Tangrowth, if I go all the way in on that, or even if I 1v1 Heliolisk, for example. That's still a good use of Garchomp here. For sure. Like a 1v1 Heliolisk and then get to hit another big hit off into something like that could work well. Once again, I have to run Rough Skin because obviously can't have evasion boosting ability, but Rough Skin is nice as well because if the Scizor wants to U-turn on me, not that it would stay in against potential Fire Fang, but it will be taking Rough Skin damage from Bullet Punch, so that's for making contact, which is always nice. And if Moltres wants to U-turn on me as well, it will be taking damage from Rough Skin too. Same thing applies to Greninja as well. And if Drapion wants to hit into me, it's going to do that, which I could use this against Drapion potentially in a late game scenario. And if Tangrowth wants to knock off and get rid of my Life Orb, it will take damage from Rough Skin as well. That's always nice. As I said, I'm leaving off Lele, and I'll explain why at the end, because this was a tough team build for me in terms of making decisions. Aggron here is coming with a slightly weird set, and this is obviously going to be the primary switch into Scizor. It just walls Scizor all day long. You wouldn't run Superpower, which is just why I've run fully physically defensive, because otherwise it puts me in a slightly dodgy situation if it's Swords Dance Superpower. I'm just really safe in this situation. Fire Punch is a 2-shot under all circumstances, I believe. Heavy Slam just does a lot of damage to stuff like Slurpuff. It allows me to always beat Slurpuff and Mimikyu because Heavy Slam is a 100% one-shot on both of those mons. As I was saying, yeah, so Heavy Slam is always a one-shot on like offensive Belly Drum Slurpuff, and then it's also always a one-shot on Mimikyu. So that's just nice to be able to do stuff like that. Toxic is there because I'd rather run Toxic than try and run like a combination of different coverage moves to beat Tangrowth and Moltres and Swampert and stuff. I was like, I'll just Toxic stuff if it wants to come in on me, and then it's going to get worn down anyway. I could have run Rock Slide for Moltres, but I was like, I'm better off just running Toxic and switching out on it and doing stuff like that, wearing it down. And then Stealth Rocks is there because if I can knock items off, because you can just about see Muck on screen there, I can knock off boots maybe on Moltres, stuff like that, and then Stealth Rock is going to really punish that on the switch. And Stealth Rock punishes switches in general here, because stuff like Swampert can't recover, stuff like Tangrowth only recovers through Regenerator. He obviously does have the Wish Parter and Stealth Rock, which you could utilise here, but stuff like Greninja and Helios can't appreciate kind of keep coming in on Stealth Rock, especially if they're like Life Orb as well. So it was just kind of a decision I made. I was like, I think this set actually makes more sense, even if it is a little bit more passive. Because even like Lati is always going to wall aggro, and I can't run a move to not be walled by it. So I may as well click Toxic on it instead, and that actually threatens it more. Is what I was thinking there. Vaporon's coming back here, and this is essentially doing a couple of things. One, it 100% always checks Greninja, even if it's Specs. I take it all on really, really well. Water Absorb means I literally heal off his water attacks as well, because I feel like something like a Specs Greninja clicking Hydro Pump, it could be a way he goes to try and threaten this team, because Vaporeon on paper doesn't have the greatest matchup here. But Vaporeon's actually here to beat a combination of Moltres and Swampert. I never take any damage from Moltres, and I can just wish in his face and do stuff like that. And then I actually stopped Swampert's flip turn because of Water Absorb, which I've really, really valued here. What I was just going to do, which I can take you on the journey for, is I was just going to check Spadef Vape's roll against like a Swampert going for just like a Swampert going for Earthquake, because it probably does like 30. It does like 40%, yeah. But obviously I can always just recover off that damage with Wish, so it's not the end of the world. Although it's not great, to be fair, because I don't have Protect on this set, which obviously he doesn't know that. So I may look at that and switch to having a little bit more defense, potentially, on this set, but I'll do that after this bit, because I don't need to have to edit out like another 5 minutes of content here. We've got a weird set, because I don't have Protect and I don't have Scold. I have Wish, which is obviously there for recovery, and Flip Turn's really nice for momentum. This is going to be a big one because he's got a lot of momentum. I don't want him to just have complete momentum over me. I need to be able to get some momentum of my own. Heal Bell is there, one because of Flame Body Burns from Moltres, which would really hurt me on a couple of mons, like Zapdos, like Muck. And then it's also there in case like Swampert or Moltres tries to beat Vaporeon by toxing it. I don't want to have anything to do with that. So that's just a nice thing there, and Water Absorb is going to help my longevity. Muck is making its debut here with the Assault Vest. I am Poison Touch because I'm not running a berry set. And Poison Touch could actually be quite good because stuff like Scizor could get Scizor cannot get poisoned. But stuff like Moltres could maybe get poisoned. You turning on me or something like that. Stuff like, yeah, so that's kind of what we're thinking there. Could be quite nice. Fully physically especially defensive rather, with the AV, and this is here to switch into Latios. A Specs Drake and Meteor does 40%, so it checks it really, really strongly. I have Pursuit to then catch it on the switch out. It's not quite a kill, but it does a lot. Fire Punch is there for me to be able to 1v1 Scizor. I believe it does over half, unless it's fully physically defensive Mega Scizor, which I don't think he brings her. I think he brings it more special to try and check Lele. Poison Jab is just nice for Slurpuff and Mimikyu. To be able to hit those really hard if he brings them. It also is just a nice stab move to hit against stuff like Greninja and Helios, because it will do slightly more damage than knockoff. That's basically all I was thinking there, and it's also going to hit Tangrowth pretty hard as well. Yeah, that's about it. Knocking off items is really, really nice, especially if I knock off boots from Moltres. I can then set Stealth Rocks up, and then that's going to really punish the Moltres trying to come in. Because he obviously has good removers with like Scizor and Latios, but Moltres is like his main reliable remover. So if Moltres loses its boots and rocks are up, it may have to come in itself to defog, which obviously that's great because it will take 50%. And then I originally had, I think it was Rock Slide for me to be able to like 1v1 Moltres, but in the end I said I valued knockoff more to be able to potentially knock off like boots or just items in general. And then also if Lati is like Calm Minded up, it's obviously then not going to swap out on Muck. It's going to like try and hit it really hard, so Pursuit would actually not be that great there. So I was like, let's actually just have knockoff, so I can do that pretty nicely and do more damage to Lati in that scenario. Because I was with the rest of the team is more scared of Lati than it is of Moltres. I'll put it that way. And one of those reasons is because of Salazzle. Sludge Wave does a lot to Moltres. Obviously, Moltres can run Scorching Sands, which it probably does run here because Scizor is a threat. And then you can do that basically. I've actually got pretty much the same set as last week. I have Flamethrower, Sludge Wave, Toxic, and Protect. It's pretty self-explanatory. Flamethrower is going to do a lot to Scizor. Sludge Wave is going to do more to Lati. I can Toxic Swampert on the switch, and then because it doesn't have natural recovery, wear it down by clicking Protect. It takes more toxic damage. Same thing applies to like Moltres. And the really nice thing about Scizor in all of those scenarios is that my opponent can't go, he's probably going to click Toxic here, let's swap into something that can't get Toxic because Scizor Toxics everything. Even if he like stays in with Scizor against Scizor for some reason, I just Toxic that instead. Or even if he tries to switch in Drapion on it, because I could see AV Drapion potentially being his switch into this if he doesn't have simple space to come. I just see why he wouldn't though, because it looks really strong against here. Like against this team in general, fire types that have a very strong secondary stab, so something like a Volcanion is also really good against this team, just in terms of because his fire switch into like Moltres, Swampert, Latios. But like if a good strong, none of those are like massively bulky in that sense. So a good fire type like Scizor that has a second stab can do a lot of work against this team. That's hopefully what I'm going to be able to utilize here. The speed is for Lati, I believe. That is the fastest thing. Yeah, other than Greninja, which is faster than me. That's kind of where we're at there. I don't know, I didn't mention Garchomp speed earlier. What is Garchomp speed? 208 plus at 102. Yeah, I believe that's faster than Mimikyu. Yeah, it'll be faster than Mimikyu. Faster than Mimikyu, so I can't get play rough basically, and I don't take that much damage from a Shadow Sneak. So that's kind of what I was thinking there. And then finishing off, we've got Choice Scarfed, Galarian Zapdos coming here. I struggled with what I was going to do with this set, but I thought Choice Scarf was the best choice in the end. If you look at my EVs there, I only actually need to run 64 speed here, and then that makes me faster than Greninja. Because the one downside I would say of Joed's team here is the only good Scarfer is Drapion. None of the other Mons are really great Scarfers. I mean, Heliolisk is an okay Scarfer, but Heliolisk is faster than Zapdos anyway. There's no mid-speed tier kind of like great Scarfer here, other than Drapion. And Drapion isn't that big a threat if it's Scarf, because I can just go into my Mach every time, or go into my Aggron every time, and it just walls it pretty much. Like Aggron especially just walls it, because I wouldn't want to lose my Assault Vest on Mach. So it just takes hits really well in that sense, but. So Scarf Zapdos really doesn't actually need that much speed to be really good here. My U-turn is awesome because it just gets me momentum, and if I'm in against like Greninja or I'm in against Lati, like U-turn's actually doing like the most damage, or it's doing a lot of damage, or like Tangrowth is going to take a lot from U-turn anyway. So my U-turn doesn't lose me that much in terms of doing damage to stuff, because with the exception of like Swampert and Moltres, U-turn still does a lot of damage in this situation. Brave Bird's a great click in so many situations. Like if you look down that team, the only flying resist is Heliolisk. So that's awesome. And then close combat is good if like Lati's gone and Moltres is gone, or as a click as well if I don't want to take recoil, and Slurpuff's gone as well. I think Slurpuff is what he brings to try and check Zapdos though, which obviously Scizor is then going to threaten that Slurpuff if he wants to do that. And then we've got Dual Wing Beat on there as the last move. It's the same base power as Drill Peck, but inaccurate. And the situation this is here for is for Mimikyu, because it's Dual Wing Beat as a 2-hit move. The first one will break Disguise, and then the second one can then do, I think it's about 25%. So that was kind of all I was thinking there. It's like I can just do that instead if need be. It's because it's the same base power as Drill Peck, and I very rarely click the fourth move anyway. So I was like, Dual Wing Beat is going to be the more useful move to me in a potential situation where I do click it here. I'd be interested to see if there's ever been a situation in the entire time I've used Galarian Zapdos where I have clicked the fourth move. I genuinely don't think I have. So there's the team I'm bringing. I had a tough decision here because I have 8 Mons in my team that are really strong here, which I think confirmed to me how much I do like this team I've drafted. Because anytime where you're going, I don't know which 6 I actually want to bring here because so many things are good, that's only a good thing, really, in terms of, like, I like this team a lot. Because Lele is obviously good here, because Lele is always good. I just felt like he probably tries to prep a lot for Lele. He probably maybe brings Moltres for it. Like, AV Tangrowth takes hits fairly well from it. Scizor obviously always takes hits from it really well. And then he's going to have Greninja, which is faster. Heliolisk faster. I had a Scarf Lele on there originally, but it's like, Lele kind of needs to be able to switch up its moves here to be able to break. So I was like, I actually prefer the way of playing it with Zapdos as Scarf and then kind of breaking Garchomp. And then Galarian Weezing is also a really good bring here in terms of being able to check the fairies like Slurpuff and Mimikyu, which is another reason why I feel like Belly Drum Slurpuff just does not come here, because Galarian Weezing also checks it really, really well. Galarian Weezing is also good against Swampert because of Levitating, and good against Dracon as well. So that was something to keep in mind there. I ended up leaving it off in the end because I feel like the fairy types aren't that much of a threat because of the combination of Aggron and Weezing, and then Aggron checks stuff like Scizor better overall. So that was kind of all I was thinking there. But 8 Mons were really, really solid here. Even something like a Frogadier was actually really solid here as well, and I did definitely consider that because I can like a Scarf Frogadier mainly, so it's faster than Lati, and I can like Ice Beam or Dark Pulse Lati. I can Ice Beam into Tangrowth, I can Scald or Surf Moltres, and then I do a lot of damage to stuff in general. And that's something he's got to be aware of. Even Rotom Fan was good here in terms of being able to be okay against Mega Scizor and stuff. So I like this team a lot, and hopefully this match goes well. So I'll see you guys in the battle. I would just like to quickly talk about this change I've just made to the team at the end here. I have swapped Vaporeons being more physically defensive to better switch into Swampert Earthquakes. They now do about 30% rather than 40%, which was a little bit too much for me when I don't have Protect on the set, so I can still Wish in Swampert's face, basically. Okay, so very surprised to see Mimikyu. I didn't change the layout. So yeah, I need to bring Moltres and Mimikyu in for Slurpuff and Heliolisk. Surprised not to see either of them. Okay, that's actually good in a way. Just ignore the layout moving. Nice to see no Greninja as well, because that caused me a few issues for sure. So Vaporeon just like basically, yeah. So Vaporeon basically can just focus on going up against the defensive core of Moltres and Swampert. Pretty much. Interesting that Moltres was actually the first thing he put on the team as well. I guess it's maybe Spadef, maybe with Vocabulary, maybe it's the Lele check. But I'm surprised to see that as the first one he's put on the team. I didn't think Moltres was that great here for him. It's probably got Scorching Sands to deal with Salazzle and stuff like that. And actually, from what I am seeing from that kind of immediately, is he looked very scared of Lele. The Moltres may also be Charty Berry, and maybe he was running like Will-O-Wisp or something. So I'm glad I have Heal Bell and Vaporeon, even if I have Foregone Protect for it, which I may regret later on. I'm not coming in on anything like massively offensive, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. So what's a good lead here? On my end, I think on his end of things, you could lead Swampert if Swampert is Rocks, to get up Rocks. He could lead Scizor or Moltres to U-turn maybe. He could lead Lati to try and get a big hit off. What is my least useful Mon here? Is probably an interesting idea to think about. That could definitely be Carmine Lati, or just a bulkier Lati in general to try and check Zapdos. I could see that being a thing. Or he's just run like very bulky, physically defensive Moltres to try and bank on Flame Body Burns, which is another reason I'm glad I've got Heal Bell and Vaporeon. I'm surprised to see Mimikyu, because Mimikyu, especially if I'd brought Weezing, would have really struggled to do anything, especially if I'd run like Neutralizing Gas, because then it just goes through Disguise completely and it kills it. So surprised to see that, but Aggron deals with it well, so I'll keep Aggron nice and healthy for that Mimikyu, because otherwise it can win. Mach is pretty good against it as well, so that's always nice to keep in mind. I'm thinking my Zapdos lead to U-turn here is pretty nice. Yeah, I'm feeling that. The Mimikyu maybe Fight Z. That's maybe what he's going for. It could be Fight Z. So if we get into a late game scenario, I can probably double out on Mimikyu just in case it goes for Fight Z. That's probably quite a good idea. I'm feeling a Zapdos lead, but if it is like a Scarfed Lati, I don't want to do that. So I don't think Salazzle's a great lead, because Salazzle doesn't have great starting matchups. Like, I don't want to do against Moltres. I don't want to do like I mean, it's good against Scizor and Tangrowth, but that's bad. I don't think he leads Tangrowth here, unless he hard predicts Garchomp lead. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna say I think my best lead might just be Garchomp, and I can kind of break something to start with, unless it's Tangrowth. Yeah, I think I like that play. And then I kind of, unless it's like Scarf Lati or something, or I could lead Aggron to get my Mega Evolution off, so I don't have to switch into like an Earthquake off the Tangrowth, which is fairly likely to have, I think. But I feel like the Moltres lead is decent, so I don't really want to deal with that. Aggron's good against a good chunk of the team though. I'll lead Garchomp. He'll lead Swampert, so I guess that's for rocks. I don't want to risk this being Ice Punch, so I'm just going to go straight out into my Vaporeon here, turn 1 on a probable Rocks click. I imagine this is going to be Rocks. Rocks don't massively hurt my team though. Yeah, we do see Ice Punch. Okay, so nice and safe there. Now the thing to keep in mind is that this is likely faster than me. No, sorry, this is likely slower than me. Even with the minus speed nature I think this is still slower. So I don't get slow flip turns on this. I think just wishing here is very solid. So I'm just going to do that. He may show Toxic here, but that's fine. I can just Heal Bell. He shows Rocks. Okay, that's fine. As well, those Rocks are here to stay. But I have Boots on Salazzle, so it's not too big a deal. Not too big a deal. Oh, I am faster, which is slightly annoying. That's okay though. He should be feeling okay to stay in here. And he'll maybe go for an Earthquake. So I might just Roar to get it out. I don't think that's a bad play because I don't want a fast flip turn on this because I don't want anything to take the hit really. Oh, why is Porygon left? So he got his thing out anyway, but he didn't get to choose what he went into. So he sees. I don't know if that was a misplay. Porygon just decided to up and leave. We might just have to wait a couple of minutes here to try and get Porygon back. That's quite funny. It just left randomly. I don't know why it did that. It's back. Okay, that was weird. So I have revealed Roar, which is going to discourage him from clicking like a Calm Mind here, potentially. I think my Muck is obviously just a really safe play here. Oh bloody hell! I just almost knocked everything over. So we saw Ice Punch Rocks, and we also saw F-Turn on the Swampert. So unless the last move is Earthquake, which is probably pretty likely, you may actually not be able to do much to Vaporeon at all, which is nice. So if I can Toxic him with Salazzle or Aggron, that's going to be really nice because Vaporeon can kind of beat it pretty easily. Ice Punch is a good bring though for Garchomp. He'll go Tangrowth here as I go into Muck. That's fine. He can Earthquake, he can also knock off here. That's too bad. I think I'm going to knock off myself here. How much does Tangrowth do to Muck? It won't be too much. Yeah, it's not going to be much at all, even if it is Earthquake, I don't think. Oh no, Earthquake actually does quite a lot. I don't really want to take that. Oh yeah, this is actually kind of a tough situation because I don't want him to Earthquake into Aggron either. Yeah, I don't want him to Earthquake into Aggron either. I guess this is slightly more expendable, so I'm going to knock here. He will stay in. He'll get Poison Touch as well. We get rid of Leftovers, which is interesting. That was not what I was expecting him to have. So he wasn't AV. Let's actually see based on that damage. He took 25%. It actually, he doesn't know it, but actually, okay, it's Spadef, yeah. He doesn't know, but that was actually good for him because it means I can't Toxic it later on. It is Spadef. So that's good. That is good because it means Garchomp's going to be able to do a bit more against it with Fire Fang because it doesn't have any of this. Yeah, Firefang is a 2-shot from this range, actually, which is pretty good. He may Earthquake this turn, if he has it. We've only seen Leaf Seed. He could also double Seed, I wouldn't be too surprised. Earthquake makes a lot of sense for him to have, though, because it's good for Aggron, and it's good for Salazzle and stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him click that. He could also knock off here to get rid of my AV if he thinks I've got that, or if he thinks I've... Oh no, because if he thinks I've got a Berry, then he won't care particularly to do that. I don't want to lose my Scarf on Zapdos, though, so I think Garchomp is the safer play here. I can Firefang and do quite a bit of damage. It's not too bad. He does knock off here, so I'll lose my Life Orb, but that's not too bad. It's just something to keep in mind. So I've obviously lost my Life Orb. Yeah, that was a good double from him there. It's put me in a slightly tough position where I've had to lose my Life Orb here. My Firefang is a 2-shot from here, though, so it's not too bad at all. I feel like he might try and make a play into the Moltres here, though. So I might Hard Rock Slide and make a play. I don't think he'll stay in because I want to try and get like regen, you know. Or if this is like his Garchomp check and stuff, he may just stay in. Oh yeah, that's kind of tough actually. That is kind of tough. That is pretty tough. Firefang's going to do about 30 to Tangrowth, right? It's going to do about 30. So if we're doing about 30, my Rock Slide is doing just below 20 actually. That's not bad. So then yeah, it will die to Rock Slide plus Firefang anyway, and one Firefang doesn't kill, so I may as well go for the play here. He goes Mimikyu, so he'll actually get his Disguise broken here, which is interesting. So maybe this is red card? No? Okay. That was an interesting play. I have a roll to kill with Earthquake. No, that's with Life Orb, isn't it? No, that's without Life Orb. I'm going to have to be very careful to not accidentally do a calc with Life Orb. So that's interesting. I'm not sure why he's made that play. I might just go Salazzle, because unboosted Mimikyu isn't going to do too much damage to Salazzle. Actually, no, Shadow Claw's going to do a lot. Never mind. I think Aggron's safe, but I just don't want him to Drain Punch. Which we know he's got. He's probably... Oh, what would he have foregone, actually, in this matchup? The way he's brought it in, it may actually not be an SD set, which is weird. It may be some kind of anti-setup set. It's not red card, though, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's Scarf, the way he's brought it in? It could genuinely be Scarf. How much is Drain Punch going to do into, like, Aggron, though? Because it is 4 times super effective. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. Oops. I think it is the better play, though. If he Drain Punches, that's a good play. He'll just hard play rough. Yes, this might be like a Scarfed set. No, it's Life Orb. It's Life Orb. It's Life Orb. Okay, that's interesting. Nice to get that off. He may try and Drain Punch here, but I don't really care about that. It's going to do very minimal damage. Yeah, it's going to do like 20. It's really not an issue. And I like getting my rocks up here. Yeah, I like getting my rocks up here. So I'm going to do that. He probably pulls a switch into... Maybe not Scizor, because he'll fear Fire Punch, but maybe more likely the Lati. And yeah, based on this composition, I reckon that is a slightly bulkier Lati. I think he's gone. I think he has gone quite defensive on this one. Surprised to see no Heliolisk or Greninja. I thought at least one of those would show. I was leaning towards Heliolisk showing, but happy not to see it because it was, especially with no Protector Vaporeon, it was going to be quite an issue. They also would have stopped Vaporeon flip turning against stuff like Moltres. So I personally would have brought Heliolisk, but he's clearly got a plan with this Mimikyu. I don't think it's SD. Maybe he made some weird prediction where he didn't think I was going to bring Aggron or something. Ah, we see Wisp, okay. That's okay though, because Yeah, I'm fine with that because I can just heal bell it later if I need to. I'll go for Toxic plus 10. He'll go Tangrowth, which is already Toxic, so that was a good play. Tangrowth's going to take some damage there. And it's going to obviously Earthquake, but I don't think it's going to do much at all. Yeah, so you're going to do 20. He'll have Earthquake or he'll like Leech Seed here. So I'm going to make an aggressive play into Zapdos because I don't think he knocks here. If he knocks, that's a really good play. Yeah, he seeds. So I didn't actually write seed down before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got EQ. So I'm just going to U-turn here on whatever he wants to bring in. It's probably going to be Moltres to try and get a Flame Body Burn. But it's fine. If he does that, I U-turn, he gets the Flame Body Burn, I just get to go into Vaporeon and I get to immediately heal off those 2 burns, so it's not too bad. That's a cool Mimikyu set though with Will-O-Wisp, I like that. It's like tried to counter Aggron. I guess he was scared of Body Press, because Body Press would have been decent here once Lati goes down, because I can run Rock Slide for Moltres. So like a set of a 9 defense Aggron would have been quite scary from his perspective. Yeah, he will go Moltres. Please don't get the burn, it'd just be quite annoying. Oh, he does get the burn, okay, that's fine. I just get to go into this and... He's apologised, but it's fine. He doesn't know how fine it is. It's very fine. I'm just going to heal bell this off immediately. He'll U-turn, so we see turn on the Moltres. He'll go out into Tangrowth here, and I get to heal bell. I feel like he Leech Seeds here. How much would a Giga Drain from Tangrowth even do to Vaporeon? It does a solid half. It's not too bad. I think I will wish on the Leech Seed here. We see EQ actually. So he'll go for, yeah, we do see EQ finally. So nice to finally see that. I just get to go Aggron and heal Aggron up here. Back to full. He'll Leech Seed, that's fine. Get Aggron back up to full. He may just Earthquake here. I'm not too sure what he's going to try and do. I don't think he'll double Leech Seed again. So I might just double out into Garchomp again. At this stage. So we've seen Leech Seed knock EQ. So he either... I think this one gets Synthesis. So he either doesn't have Synthesis or he doesn't have... I mean, you don't need it because of Regenerator, but... He may not actually have a Grass move, offensively, potentially. I'm thinking. I reckon he'll swap into Lati here, I'm going to say. I don't know. He could. I'm actually kind of feeling a Zapdos play again. Although that's kind of risky. I don't want to take too much damage on Zapdos. Yeah, I'll go Zapdos because he definitely doesn't knock here. Yeah, I'll go Zapdos because he definitely doesn't knock here. Yeah, he actually went straight out into Swampert, which is fine. Nothing Swampert does is going to kill Zapdos. I do half with Brave Bird. What if he has, like, Liquidation? I think his last move's EQ, though. I do think his last move's EQ. I do think his last move's EQ. Because we've seen Ice Punch, Rocks, Flip Turn. He probably Flip Turns here, if I had to guess, to be fair. So I might just dual Wing Beat. Yeah, I'm just going to dual Wing Beat. He actually went hard Moltres again, which is interesting. So dual Wing Beat. Oh, he'll get the burn on the first hit again. Jesus. He probably has to recover here, right? Surely you recover here. Like, you click Roost. And getting dual Wing Beat there rather than Brave Bird means I just preserve my HP a bit, which is nice. I'll go Vaporeon because even if he U-turns, he'll be lower, so that's kind of risky from his end. He'll actually Hurricane, which will do a lot. Jesus Christ. Hurricane's going to do a lot there. Yeah, this isn't going great for me so far. Not great at all. I think I will just Flip Turn. He's likely to Hurricane. I mean, Hurricane can miss, right? Hurricane has a good chance to miss. Oh, I kind of need Vaporeon alive for Heal Bell, though, is the issue. Otherwise, Zapdos is kind of useless. He's U-turn Hurricane. U-turn Hurricane. U-turn Hurricane. He's also offensive. He's got a bit of offense at least. I think he's got a bit of offense at least. Kinda. Offense, we see. Hurricane. Yeah. Maybe it doesn't have Roost. You don't know. He doesn't know I don't have Protect at this stage. He's seen Wish, Roar, and Heal Bell. So I could have Protect and he may not know. Thing is, if I let Vaporeon go down, I basically lose 2 mons because Zapdos ends up being useless as well. So I really don't want to do that. I may go Garchomp here. Garchomp takes like 50%, 55 or so from a Hurricane, which would put Garchomp very low. I'm gonna go Garchomp. Hope he misses Hurricane because otherwise it will do quite a bit of damage. He will hit Hurricane again, and he'll get the confusion. My luck right now is awful. I'll just Hard Rock Slide into this. He's likely to just go Tangrowth, right? I'm pretty sure this doesn't have Scorching Sands at this stage. He goes Tangrowth, right? Tangrowth is always his swap in this situation. Yeah, I think he always goes Tangrowth in this situation. Yeah. What I want to be careful of is obviously his Earthquake is going to kill me. His Earthquake is obviously going to kill me, is the thing. I feel like he should just go Swampert here though, right? That's one click, yeah. He actually goes Mimikyu, which is interesting. Which obviously his Shadow Sneak does quite a bit to me, so I guess that kind of makes sense. He's seen Play Rough and Will-O-Wisp. If we just have a general Mimikyu, Shadow Sneak's doing like 40-ish. So I'm just going to Sludge Wave. Oh, it actually lives. That's a bulky Mimikyu. Wow. It's fine. It dies here, though. So Mimikyu goes down. That frees up Aggron to switch into Tangrowth more. And Slazzle is still good. Slazzle is still good. Yeah, this isn't really going how I would like, though. This really is not going how I would like. This is really not going how I like. The luck has not been with me in this one at all. You hit 2 hurricanes, so it's like I got burned twice first hit on the flame body as well, which is unfortunate. Like the moltres would be so much lower, and the moltres would have been so much lower if I hadn't got burned on that first one, because it would have taken another hit of the same, and it would have been about 40, 45 rather than 50, 55. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're just keeping Muck in the back to check Lati. Yeah. Oh, this is interesting actually. Garchomp just lives the rock switching. I almost completely messed that up. It just lives the rock switching, so I'm glad my life orb got knocked off actually. And Mimikyu is his last like potential pro. Oh, he wouldn't have brought Shadow Sneak because obviously yeah. Why would he have brought Shadow Sneak? Because Lele, like that makes sense. Yeah. I may just Toxic this, to be honest, and just go into Muck afterwards and Pursuit Trap it, just in case he tries to make a double here again. So I'm going to Toxic. And if he's faster and he kills me, he shows his Scarf. So it's like, and then it's dead to Pursuit. So that's fine. How much does Muck's Pursuit actually do before I mess this up? Pursuit into Latios. Okay, yeah. It does a lot. So that's good. I feel like he might try and make a play here. The thing is, if he's Calm Mind, I don't want to click Protect. I may also just click Protect though. Because surely he doesn't want to take a Salazzle hit here either. Which will do like half. Yeah, so the way he's brought the... Oh, I've disconnected. That's not good. Oh dear, that is indeed not good. There we go, we're back. Okay, cool. Cool, we're back. That was weird. Okay, so it just didn't... Like, I hadn't actually selected anything there. I wonder what... It probably would have defaulted to Flamethrower. Last time he swapped, but the way he's brought it in, surely this is Scarf. Unless he's bluffing Scarf. I feel like the way he's brought this in is Scarf. I feel like the way he's brought this in, it is probably Scarf. I feel like... What I was just going to check before I forgot was... I'm pretty sure Swamp's last move is Earthquake. Yeah, Earthquake won't kill Vaporeon from where I'm at, just. So I just about get away with that, and I can Heal Bell off the burn. I think this is Scarf. Just the way he's played it so far. I might make a mid-ground Aggron play though, because Mimikyu's dead, so... No, but I don't like being in against Tangrowth though, because I just give it health. Because it's poisoned rather than toxic, which has actually helped him in the long run here. So I will just go Muck. I reckon this is Scarf. I think this is Scarf. You see Draco, so that's fine. I think that's showed me Scarf damage as well. 30.4. Oh, yeah, it's Modest Scarf. Modest Scarf, yeah. Yeah, it's Modest Scarf. Or it's like a berry, but the way he went into it there on Salazzle, I'm pretty sure this is Scarf. So I just Pursuit it here on it switching out, and it will go down to 9, which is good. It actually now dies to rocks as well, which is awesome. That's really brought me back in the match now, because that's dead. That dies to rocks. That is dead, unless he defogs. So he may now defog his own rocks away as well. Is this faster than me? Is this faster than me? The way he's just gone into it there, I think it's actually physically defensive as well. But is this faster than me? If it's impish, it's not. It's unless it's got speed, which he'll show me if he does do that. I don't really want. I mean, Lati's dead on switching, so I don't actually need this anymore. So I'll just knock into this, and we'll get rid of whatever item this has. We get another poison. What the hell? So Mug goes down there, and we did see Earthquake. I completely blanked on that. So we do see EQ, which is nice. I don't really want to risk Vaporeon here. Is this my time to do the last Garchomp swap? The last Garchomp switch in? Actually, yeah, he's made a good point. The poison isn't too bad, because poison does do the same amount of damage the third turn. And Vaporeon is not in a position to be able to, like, stall out at the end or anything, so it's not too bad. I feel like my Garchomp is the right play here. Because it gets a kill, pretty much. If I just click Earthquake plus then a move. So yeah, I'll go into it here. It just lives. So I'm actually very glad I have actually have not Life Orb. So I just EQ here. I actually didn't check this kills. I'm pretty sure it does. If it doesn't, Swampert will die to poison. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, it will get out, but it dies to Rough Skin actually. So it's a double down in that scenario. So this is okay. This is okay. Scizor is now very good because we're actually at 4. So we're actually at 4v3 here because the Lati dies to rocks. Unless he defogs, he may defog, but that's only helpful to me really, to be honest. I reckon he makes like a Scizor play here to try and defog. The Scizor is definitely Spadef, by the way, to try and check Lele because he hasn't really used it for anything here. I think my best player is Scizor. Because he's not going to go Lati here. I think he goes Scizor to try and defog, or he goes Moltres to try and defog. But I think Moltres... Because I don't know what we've seen on the Moltres. What did damage to Moltres? Has it just been Toxic? No, it hasn't been Toxic. What did Moltres take damage from? Oh, Dual Wing Beat did... Oh, that's annoying. Wait, so... We need to find... Lati's definitely Scarf, by the way. That's where we're at with that. So we're looking at Moltres versus Zapdos, and we're looking at max roll being 52 on the set for that dual wing beat, because the first one did 26. So it's actually quite offensive. Yeah, it's offensive. Okay. It's offensive. I've written that twice now. It's actually offensive. It's interesting. It's maybe like... That's with bold on it. Maybe it's max HP, and then it's not bold, and it's like timid or something. No, that's too much. I think it's like... Yeah, because that wasn't a max roll. That was like... I did 26 for the first one. Yeah, I reckon it's definitely offensive here. So it's offensive, so Scizor kills it, is what we're trying to establish here, I believe. Oh, it actually doesn't. Oh no, that's still with HP. It doesn't have HP, so it dies. I think Salazar's my best play because I think he goes. He went Moltres. That's fine. Um, um, yeah. By the way, as I've just been reminded, Joed uploads, so I will link him in the description if you want to go and check out his stuff. Yeah, he does some fun things. I think Salazar's too good to risk here. So I may just sack Zapdos, to be honest. He doesn't know what I am, though. He doesn't know whether I'm timid or modest. If I'm modest, I kill. Let's assume he's like fully offensive. Min is 50 to 59. It's not going to happen. I do think he swaps anyway, personally. I don't know what he probably has to stay in actually because yeah, this is so not worth the risk. Hold on. This is really not worth the risk. I just sacked Zapdos. That's not worth the risk because Salazar actually beats. Oh, okay. So we see defog off that. So that's fine. So I just need any damage on this. So Brave Bird is fine. It actually kills, which is surprising. I'm surprised that killed through the burn. Oh, because he gave me Defiant. That's why. So I'm neutral again, basically. Right. I did not intentional. Not intentional Defiant, but I will take it because that's why it's a neutral hit. I just needed any damage there because then Salazar kills. And Salazar was looking really, really good in here because it beats Scizor plus Tangrowth. I just need a little bit of damage on Scizor. I don't think Scizor can one-shot me though if it's for death. He probably goes Lati here. He dies to Toxic after one turn though, unless he goes for Recover. In which case he's not Scarf and then I'm less scared. It's fine because we'd have another double down situation, then it'd be 3v2. I think I win the 3v2. Because Aggron kind of just beats Tangrowth plus Scizor. We do see Scizor come in here. Probably going to Bullet Punch, if I had to guess. I don't want him to get U-turn momentum, though, is all I'm thinking. If Zapdos is burned, how much damage am I doing? Because I don't think I'll be able to get a Heal Bell off here. I don't think I'll be getting a Heal Bell off here. If I'm burned into Scizor, it's Mega Scizor. Scizor Mega. We know it's this more Spidefy set. Bullet Punch does kill. Bertha does not do much at all. Aggron here. That's the wrong. That was just in the complete wrong place. Mega Scizor's doing that. How much am I doing to Tangrowth? Probably not much either. We know it's more Spidef. It's actually still doing half to Tangrowth. That's not bad. And the Lati is. Well, maybe it's not Scarf because he didn't go it there. Is this still worth having around? It might be because it still does a lot to Tangrowth. I can still get it in and click a move, and he struggles to take the move. No, I don't think this is worth it. I don't think that's worth it. I'm just going to Brave Bird, and then I get to click Flamethrower, basically. Although we know it is Spidef. We know it is Spidef Scizor, is the only issue. We know it is Spidef. Oh no, Salazar still kills. Oh, let's put careful on. Yeah, Salazar still kills from full, so that's good. So yeah, I'll just Brave Bird and sack here. We'll probably see a Bullet Punch come off. Yep, we see BP. Not surprising there. That doesn't kill Salazar, right? I mean, it will if it's offensive, but it's definitely not offensive. I also just get to go Aggron and click Fire Punch in this scenario. Yeah, I do just get to go Aggron and click Fire Punch, because we know the Scizor is Spidef. How much does my Fire Punch do? Over half, yeah, so I just get to go Aggron and Fire Punch here. It's safer. it's much safer because it kills Lati as well, and it kills anything here in 2 shots. We see you turn off the scizor as well. So Aggron should be in a good spot here. That's not going to do too much though. He'll take poison though off of it, so it's not too bad. It did 33. Which is about right. That's actually a higher roll as well. So he took 33 plus the 13 there that turn. So he would almost die to another, which isn't too bad for him. But I need Aggron for latios. So let's assume it's Scarfed latios, because that's the thing that beats... that's what beats Scizor, if he is latios. Yeah, so I take 67 from a Mystical Fire, so I need to stay above 67. That's timid as well, I think. Yeah, that's timid as well. Modest, I need to stay above 74. I don't want him to just Leech Seed, though, on Vaporeon coming in here. Ooh, what's my best play? Although, Lati does die to 1 hit, so I can just sack... it dies after 1 turn because of poison, so I can actually just sack Vaporeon to Lati. That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. He will Leech Seed. It depends... I got a low roll, so he won't kill. I can just go for another, and it will, though. Yeah, so Fire Punch ends up being a really good bring. I think it's just going to see me through here. And that Pursuit was really clutch as well. That Pursuit was really clutch. And even with Zapdos burned, is we can get here. Garchomp got its kill. Well, it didn't quite get its kill. Swampert died to... Oh no, it died to Ruskin actually, so it will be Garchomp's kill. So that's always good. He'll go Scizor, which will die to this, I think. It will take a lot. So this is fine. I just keep Fire Punching. Oh, okay, yeah, so let's not do this then. Hold on. So he will just keep roosting, so I'll just go Slazzle here. Oh, that's risky though. That is risky. Hold on. Yeah, I go Slazzle. This is risky though. This is tough. This is tough. Because if he attacks here into Salazzle, he kind of wins the game. Is the thing. He doesn't know I don't have Scald though, so it's not too bad. I go Salazzle. I think I go Salazzle because he can just keep roosting and he wins here, which I don't want to happen. Although Tangrowth never beats this, right? And Tangrowth will die to... No, because it will come in at 43. So yeah, it should die to Fire Punch plus Toxic. Not Toxic, plus Poison. It dies to Fire Punch plus Poison, and I'm fast. Am I faster? Was I shown to be faster? Even then, it doesn't matter. I always live that, is the thing. I do always live that. I'm gonna go Slazzle. This is tough. This is a really tough play. This is tough. Or do I mid-ground Vaporeon? No, because that just loses me momentum. If I can mid-ground Vaporeon. I guess I'm going to go Slazzle. If he attacks, that's a really good play. He roosts. Okay. Whoo. He roosted. Oh, that was a scary situation. Fire Punch did 67 into Scizor. Like we know it's Spadef. Like I actually max rolled on that. Wow. I max rolled twice. Jesus. We know it's Spadef. 100%. We know it's Spadef. So I just get a Flamethrower here. He'll probably BP, or he'll sack Lati. No, I feel like he'll sack something else. He'll probably sack Tangrowth. and then go Lati. And then I sack Vaporeon, Lati dies to poison, and then Aggron beats Scizor 1v1. And we're going to have another really close game. This has been a great game, regardless of the outcome here. If this Scizor suddenly showed itself to be really offensive, then fair play on that. He really risked being very weak to Lele, I guess, in that scenario. Although not really, because he had like Moltres to cover it as well on the Fairy move, and then had Lati to cover the Psychic move, so maybe not. Maybe he was also faster than Lele, so he was maybe going to... That gives him one switch in on Lele because of Disguise. Bullet Punch will live. I'll live on 2. 2% win, basically. What a game. Now, the thing is, I think I just Sludge Wave because I don't want to risk him clicking Recover. Yeah. I didn't want to risk him clicking Recover. And then he dies to Poison, and then Aggron 1v1s Tangrowth. Although we knew it was Scarf anyway, though, so that was kind of a bit silly. I think it was just safe, though, because this never kills me. And then Fire Punch plus Poison will pick up the kill at the end here. What a game. Really good game. Can it miss? Fire Punch is 100% accurate, right? Yeah, it's 100% accurate. Fire Punch ends up being a really, really good bro. If I will it to be. Nice. Yeah, so it will die to Poison here at the end of the turn. Earthquake actually lived another one, and it will die to Poison. So that's a lot of kills for Mark. Yeah, that Pursuit was massive. That Pursuit was massive because that Scarf Lati caused me a lot of problems. Mug got so many kills because 3 other mons died to Poison. Three others died to Poison, so Mug got like 4 kills. No, because Mug gets the kill on Lati in the end, even though it didn't get it with Pursuit. Wow. So Mug got like 3 kills there, I think. Let me check that. Pretty sure it was 3. Oh no, 2. It's 2 for Mug. It's 2 for Mug. 2 things died to Poison, the Lati and the Tangrowth. Slazzle got 1, Zapdos got 1, because Slazzle killed Moltres. Garchomp got 1 as well. Garchomp got his kill. Aggron ends up not actually getting killed, despite being really, really good there. But Aggron was great there towards the end, just fire punching through stuff pretty much. That was good. We maintain unbeaten with 3-0. Joed goes to being 2-1, and as I said, go and check out his stuff if you want to. I don't think he's uploading this league, but he's uploading another league, so that's pretty cool. That was a really strong performance, I thought, there against the Burns, which were quite frustrating, and then the 2 Hurricanes hitting in a row. Was able to pull it through really nicely. Garchomp, good breaker, got itself its kill. What is the chance of Poison Touch? I'm interested. It's 30%. I got 3. I got 3 there, right? Was it 2? It might have been 2. I think both things that got poisoned died to No, it was 3 things, right? Because Swampert got it on flip turn. Swampert got it on Earthquake when it killed it. I got it on the Pursuit on Lati, and then I got it on the knock into Tangrowth as well. So I got it all 3 times. I got it 3 times, which is insane. So that really helped me out there. But that Pursuit play was just massive. That's what turned the tide of the game, because I was behind at that stage. And then that Pursuit play really brought me back into it. That was massive. Aggron was great there. Zapdos came in on Defog and got a Defiant boost, which ended up negating the bird for that one turn, so it got itself its kill. And then Garchomp was nice just to get rid of the Swampert, and it did some breaking early game as well into something. What was it? It did a bit of damage to. I think it was the Tangrowth did a bit of damage too. And then Mark was awesome there as well. And Salazzle was great. Salazzle could have got that last kill as well, but I think it was safer just in case the Lati wasn't Scarf and he'd been bluffing it and then he recovers there. I just didn't want to let it recover, so I thought that was safer. But really good games to Joed, and we go to 3-0. I don't even remember who I play next week, but I have a finals match to worry about before then. So although this will go up before. So hopefully he comes for a finals game in ADBL. But thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.